Hello and welcome to Tolve Closes with me, Amanda Tolve, your residential realtor. I service Bergen County, Essex County, Passaic County, and some of Hudson and Morris County. And for anything out of that area, I have great referrals. So my job, as I always tell you guys, is to make sure that the specific needs of my buyers and sellers are being met, and also to guide them from the very beginning of the process to the very end of the process. So today I wanted to discuss what your realtor should be doing for you, and then what I do specifically as your realtor. So what is our actual job? I did a little Google search, and on the Google definition says a realtor is a person who acts as an agent for the sale and purchase of buildings and land, a real estate agent. Now, this is a very vague definition, so I definitely wanted to break down for you what a realtor should actually be doing, and what you should be looking for that they're going to do for you, and then what I personally do as your realtor for my clients. So let's start with the very beginning of the process. It's my job to have a thorough conversation with my clients to find out what exactly they are looking for. So we'll go over the basics, of course, like the, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms that you need, whether you need a driveway, garage, all that good stuff. But more importantly, it's my job to help my clients figure out specifically what they need for their family and their situation, whether their living situation and their work situation. At least this is what I do. So I'm going to help you figure out what kind of layout of the home works for you, whether you need something open concept, whether you need more separated rooms, whether you need an additional space for a playroom or a workspace, or maybe even a gym area, how many cars you need to fit in the driveway. Of course, that depends on your family size. Anything that's specific to your family needs, I will help, we'll have a conversation about, and we'll get to, fully understanding what you're looking for. So we'll also go over your must-haves and make sure that we find those specific features in your home that you're looking for, or the other way around, selling. So I will also go over with my clients what type of commute you're looking to have. And a lot of times the client will bring this up themselves because they already have this in mind, especially if they're working people. When you're choosing your location, the commute is very important. So some people are looking for properties that are closer to towns with public transportation because they'll be taking the bus or the train. Then others are looking for properties that are closer to the highway because they're going to be driving for most of their commute. And now actually a lot of people have been coming to me and saying, my location is open because I'm working from home now. So many companies have gone remote and stayed remote that now the buyers have a better, broader selection of where they want to live. But again, these things, like I always say, it's very specific to each of my clients, their family and their needs. So your commute is definitely going to be specific to what you need. So once we have all of that figured out, we've figured out exactly what you're looking for. And don't get me wrong, that often does change, during the searching process, because you'll see what you do and don't like, and some of the features that you maybe thought you wanted, you don't want, or you can live without. So those things definitely change. And of course, we can make those adjustments along the way. But next, we'll go over your budget. So it's the lender's job, of course, and I don't pretend to be a lender. It's their job to go over your interest rate, your loan, your payments, what your monthly payments should come out to, with considering your taxes and insurance and all of that combined. And it's their job also to go over the loan process with you. But personally, I like to contact my client's lender and make sure that we're on the same page as far as their budget and what, budget, not just in the loan amount, but also, the monthly payments, so I can configure the taxes in there as well. So anyway, in general, it is your realtor's job to have a basic knowledge of the numbers and be able to answer simple questions about your loan and the process for you. They shouldn't, have to be able to say, well, I have no idea. They should have the basic knowledge so that they can give you the simple information, and then of course send you to your lender for the bigger questions. And then again, personally, I have the extra knowledge of being able to go over numbers with my clients because I worked for and still do work for a title company for over 10 years now. So we act as settlement agent, which, we work hand in hand with the lender to figure out all of the numbers, the final numbers. So you do get that extra knowledge when you use me as your realtor. So not only you're getting the realtor knowledge, but you're also getting the title agent knowledge as well. And again, I'm no way claiming to be a loan officer. I, can't dig that deep into it, and I let them do their job because they're better at it, just as I'm better at being the realtor and the title person. They're better at being the loan officer. But I am able to answer the basic questions, especially about the process to my clients. And I feel that every realtor should be able to do that. And if they're not, they should definitely get familiar with it. Let's see. So after we've gotten the budget out of the way, personally, I like to go over the expectations in the beginning of the process, whether you're buying or selling your home. Now, I don't know if all realtors do this, but I feel like it's something that definitely should be done so that your clients are prepared for, or they know what to expect with their situation. So once you give me your budget and the area that you're looking for, it's my job as your realtor to be honest with you and to let you know what type of properties you're going to expect to see and come across, and which ones you will qualify for. So for an example, if your budget is $350,000 and you're looking in a more highly desired area of Bergen County, I'm going to prepare you and let you know that you're going to find a house that needs a lot of fixing up, or a lot of updating. You're not going to find, and it's going to be smaller as well. So I will prepare you for what, type of homes to find in that price range and then in that location. However, if you're fortunate enough to have a higher budget, like let's say $800,000, I can then tell you which towns that we can go to and go looking in Bergen County that you can find everything you need in that budget, or you can get all of your features in that specific budget that you have. And I will also always be totally honest with my clients. If I can find you a house that's lower than that budget, because, of course I take the maximum, right? But we don't always have to use the maximum. So if I can find you a house that's lower than your maximum and it has all of the features that you want and need, of course, we're going to go with that one. Because yes, it is, this is my career and I do make more money the more, the higher the price range. But I also, and I feel like other realtors should keep this in mind too, you make more money with more business and more referrals. And if you're honest with people and you help them find something that really is a good deal for them in their situation, then they will refer you to their friends and family, and you can help those people as well. And then, it's a referral business. It just keeps coming that way. So everything comes back to you as well. So I'm a big believer in being honest with my clients, and I take that seriously. So one more step your realtor should be doing in the very beginning of the process of your home buying or your selling process is to let you know what to expect during the process. So it's impossible to explain every little detail of the transaction and what's going to happen and when and how, but you should have a general idea of the steps involved in buying or selling a home. So me personally, with my clients, I give them 7 steps. So 7 steps to buying a home or 7 steps to selling a home. So this way they have a timeline and they can have an idea of what to expect, what's up next. So of course there's many steps in between those 7 steps, but at least you'll have an idea of what to expect and, where we're moving to next. And of course, me as your realtor, I'm going to be in constant contact with my clients as usual. And I keep them updated on the deal and I let them know, what the next move is, what's going to be happening next, even if it's something that they don't need to physically be involved in. I still send them, even just a text message update so they know where we're at in the process or in the transaction. I think it's so important because a real estate transaction can get very busy and it can become very overwhelming to buyers and sellers. especially if you've never done it before. A real estate transaction is not something you learn in school. It's not something that someone sits down and tells you about. You really rely on the professionals that you're working with to, guide you through it and help you. So again, I think it's very important, and it helps ease the mind of your clients to have a general list and timeline on what to expect and when to expect it. And of course, I will be updating my clients the whole time. So now that we've gotten prepared for the home search or sale, or at least I, as your realtor, will have done that at this point, my job is to get you out in the market. So I'll prepare a search, and all my clients have to do is shoot me a text message of which property they would like to check out. And it's my job to prepare the searches, and get properties to start going to my clients, and they can choose which ones they want to see. I also have clients who tend to, check on Zillow and whatever, and then send me screenshots of those. I'll check on those too. The only issue, it's not very hard for me to look up a property. It's fine. But sometimes those things are not updated. So the Zillow website and Trulia and stuff, those are not always updated. So you might be sending me a house that's not on the market any longer. So I have to check it out on my end too. So that's my job, to create the search, and then you let me know which house you want to see, and then we'll go see it, or I'll get some more information on it, whatever the question may be. So it's the realtor's job to make the appointment to go see the property. The client should never have to do that. That's my job as your realtor. You're just sending me the property, and then it's my job to make the appointments and set up the timeline, of course, around your schedule. And then it's also the realtor's job to find out more information and details on the property. Any other questions you might have on the property. It's also my job to run comps on that property to make sure that the price matches the actual value of the home, or that it's what it's trying to be sold at. I personally like to go see the home with my clients first. And then from there, I'll collect a list of details that they want more information on about the house. So this way afterwards I can go get it. And then I also will run the comps after, because if they like the house, I will run comps on it to see if, how we're going to proceed with an offer, because I want to make sure that they're getting the best deal, and the numbers make sense. So again, there's different ways of doing things, but it is your realtor's job to find out the facts and schedule the appointments for your showings on these properties. Now, should your realtor, this is a question we get a lot, should your realtor be going to open houses with you? And I know realtors talk about this amongst themselves a lot too, oh, they just sent their client, they just this, they just that. But this is also going to be specific to each client as well. I do personally tend to go to open houses with my clients, especially if I know it's a house that they're going to like and want to put an offer in, because I want to see it and I want to make sure that, the price that we're going to put in is worth it. But however, I do have clients too who they will schedule their open houses, because open houses, you don't have to technically schedule. You can just go see them. You don't book an appointment. So they'll, fill up their weekend of open houses, and then they'll come back to me and tell me which ones they liked or want to put offers in. So they prefer to go do it, as like a family, outing, I guess you could say. So again, this is specific to what your client wants to do, what your client is comfortable with. And, it's a client, it changes with each client. So you'll feel your client out. You'll know if they want you to attend open houses. Some people, that they need that for sure. And then there's others that don't. So should, let me see what I have else here. Another thing, you're at this point or stage in the transaction, your realtor should be negotiating on your behalf during the showings and offering stages. So this one, can't stress enough, make sure your realtor is picking up the phone and making an actual phone call to the other agent. So texting is great for our industry. I use it all the time, a lot, especially when scheduling and doing follow-ups and all of that good stuff. And it's good to have like, you can track it, and, remember, oh, what happened with that? Oh, wait, I put it in the text. So you can follow up on that easier and keep track of things easier. But when it comes to, getting details that you need to have more of a conversation about, or when it comes to feeling out the motivation of the other side, and negotiating numbers and seeing the qualifications, that needs to be done over the phone. And it's also the first step if you do move forward with an offer and it gets accepted. That's the first step you're building your relationship with that other realtor. So it's important to give them a call, have a conversation, and start building that relationship with them, because now you're going to be working with them through the whole transaction, and you want to make sure you guys have a strong connection and open communication. So again, if you have more questions about that, I'm not going to go into the details of how I do what I do and what I do, of course, because every realtor does things differently, and I don't want to give away all my secrets. So as your realtor, you can contact me directly, and we'll go over those things. Now, should your realtor, this is another common question that gets a little gray. Should your realtor tell you exactly what to offer? Like, should they give you the number and say, this is what you offer? So technically, no, we're not supposed to give you an exact number and say, offer this. Or if it's a sale, we're not supposed to give you an exact number and say, this is what you're listing for, and that's it. It is our job to get you to that number. So we need to provide you, and as your realtor, I do this, I need to provide you with comps. I usually print them out so I can physically show you, and show you what the similar houses in your area sold for and what you should expect yours to sell for as well. It's our job to go over the features in your home and compare them to the other homes as well. The features that will decrease the value and the features that will increase the value, so that you can come to that number as well. And it's our job to tell you whether you need to be more aggressive with your number, or whether you need to be less aggressive with your number, or how you can be more competitive with your number. So again, this is something I can go over with you as your realtor in more detail. But yes, it is your realtor's job to get you to that sweet number. Not only is it your realtor's job to, get you to that sweet number, it's also their job to help you decide whether a house is in good shape or bad shape, or whether it meets your specific needs. So again, personally, I'm very honest with my clients. If a house is going to take my clients a lot more work than I know they want to do, I'm going to say this one's a no. If, the house is beautiful, but it's missing that one thing, that one of their must-haves, and I know for sure that they can't build that in later, I'm going to tell them this house is a no. Another good one. If I'm absolutely sure that the house is not going to appraise because I've ran the comps and I know that this guy's budget is very specific, I'm going to tell them this house is a no, because, I don't want to mislead them. So I don't believe in forcing people into homes that they don't love, or that are not good for them, or not going to work for them. Of course, on the reverse, if I see a home that I really think is good for my clients and they're just not able to visualize because the current owner maybe is, has made a mess out of the place, or, their stuff is taking away from the actual vision of the home, I will help them see or visualize what it will look like if they move in, and I will help them understand the good features of the home, and help them, figure out whether they want it or not. So it goes either way. I'll help them see if it's a no, I'll help them see if it's a yes, but the key is to be honest with your clients. And that is definitely something that I take very, very seriously. So let's go over a few things that, and this will be the last, that I'll go over, that your realtor should be doing when you have a deal officially under contract. So it's your realtor's job to connect all parties involved and make sure that there's open communication between everybody on the transaction. It's very important to do this right from the beginning, because as I mentioned before, just as it's important to build that relationship with the other agent, it's important to build your relationships with everyone on the transaction, because you guys are going to be a team and you're all going to be working together. So at least this is what I do. That means the listing agent, buyers and sellers attorneys, the lender, they should all be aware of who's involved in the transaction. Everyone should have everyone's contact information. Everyone should have a copy of the contract and the details of the specific, whatever specific deal we're working on. I also believe that just because the deal is under contract, I don't feel that the realtor needs to step back now and stop guiding the deal, especially for their client. Again, at this point, I will be in constant contact with my client, keeping them updated on what steps are coming up and what's going on. They have that timeline to reference, but I'm always going to keep them updated. As your realtor, I'm definitely going to be going over everything with you. So just know that it's your realtor's job to keep open communication between all parties on the transaction, and also continue to guide and move the deal along, always keeping their client updated. So these are some of the basic things that your realtor should be doing. I've also gone over specific things that I, as your realtor, will do for you. And again, you can always contact me directly to learn more about that. Or if you have questions about, what else I can do for you, or anything along those lines, you can contact me at 201-456-1842, text or phone call, or my email, amanda@tolvecloses.com. And as your realtor, like I always say, it's my job to help my clients find their specific needs and wants when buying and selling a home, and also to provide knowledge and guidance throughout the whole transaction from beginning to end. So again, if you have any questions, reach out to me directly. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you in a couple weeks.